When people's coffee costs double the amount, this is what's going to cause outrage. I know you're saying, what are you talking about coffee? The tariff on Brazil, the 50% tariff, where we get 1/3 of our coffee, is going to drive up the prices at your Starbucks, at your local Dunkin' Donuts, and at your local cafe. Okay? It's going to make sure that those people that get 1, 2, maybe 3, maybe 4, 5 coffees a day are not paying like $20, $30 that they pay. They're going to be paying 60 to 80. And they're going to be able to go ahead and factor that into their budget? No. They're going to be outraged. Something that they need, they want, that they have to have is costing them more money. Again, they're not worried about Medicaid or Medicare. They're not worried about insulin because it doesn't affect them. But coffee, that affects them. You know how they were yelling about gas? No. This is even worse. People are so particular about their coffee, all right? They need to have it. When that price goes up, they're going to take a double take and they're going to look at this administration and say, wait a second. What are they doing? That's making my beloved coffee go so sky high. This is going to be just as bad as the release of the Epstein log. Oh, that's right. It didn't happen. You just wait. You just wait and see.
Across the U.S., coffee prices are climbing, and one major reason is tariffs. Over the past year, the U.S. government has imposed or increased tariffs on several imported goods, including coffee and the machinery used to process it. Much of the coffee Americans consume comes from countries like Brazil, Colombia, and Vietnam. When tariffs are placed on imports from these countries, the cost goes up for importers, who then pass those costs down to roasters, coffee shops, and ultimately, the customer. But it's not just the beans. Tariffs on things like machinery and transportation components have all added extra costs to the supply chain. Add in rising labor costs, global shipping delays, and inflation, and the final result is this: a latte that costs $7 instead of $5, or a bag of beans that's suddenly 25% more expensive. Small coffee shops are especially struggling. Many are forced to raise prices just to stay afloat, while some risk losing loyal customers who can no longer afford their daily brew. Meanwhile, large corporations with global supply chains are finding ways to absorb or sidestep the costs, widening the gap between big chains and local businesses.
Okay, MAGA fuckers, we need to talk because this is like, we need to get together because this is not about you versus me versus you. Yes, do I still think you guys are dumb sometimes? Yes, because for some reason you guys can't understand basic things. But let's put that aside. What I want you to understand is he put another 40% on Brazil. And a lot of our coffee comes from Brazil. Okay? Now, 40% plus the 10% that he already put, that's 50%. Do you understand what's about to fucking happen to your coffee? Do you realize what's about to happen to your fucking chocolates? Because that miniature hand Mussolini doesn't understand putting tariff means that we are paying. Okay, tomorrow is going to be August 1st. None of us are getting a fucking $600 check. Okay? Understand that. That whole rebate thing, it's like, that's not happening. He's not going to give us a fucking check because that's barely working. And all your stuff that's about to go up, coffee, chocolate, orange juice, that's just fucking for one country. So please, we need to get together and do something. Because this is fucking insane.
The Starbucks pumpkin spice latte returns on August 26th, but with new tariffs on coffee beans, which could be up to as high as 50% on Brazilian imports, your PSL is probably going to come with a higher price tag again this year. Even without tariffs, the pumpkin spice latte comes back with a higher price tag almost every year. If we look back to when it first came out, a grande rang in at $3.25. In the past 20 years, that price has gone up by 97%. In 2023, we started to see just 5% increases, and last year we were at about $6.25 on average. This year I would be shocked to see if it was anything under $6.50. Of course, it'll probably be even more expensive depending on where you live. Before you start stressing, just remember that Dunkin' is always cheaper than Starbucks, and I expect that to continue this year. Last year, we saw a $4.39 price tag on the pumpkin spice latte at Dunkin'. This year, I expect them to be up to about $4.60, but that's still $2 under the predicted price that we expect from Starbucks. Let us know in the comments if you will be Team Starbucks this year or might switch over to Team Dunkin', or if you have another coffee shop that serves up even better pumpkin spice lattes. And be sure to hit follow for more money-saving tips and deals every single day.
The rise in coffee prices due to tariffs isn't just a short-term inconvenience. It's starting to reshape the entire industry. Local cafes that once sourced premium beans directly from farmers are now forced to compromise, switching to cheaper, lower-quality suppliers or reducing the variety they offer. Some have stopped importing specialty beans altogether because of the extra cost and red tape involved. And it doesn't stop there. Tariffs and inflation are forcing roasters to downsize. Many independent roasters are reporting layoffs and cutbacks, unable to keep up with the rising cost of imported green coffee beans and operational equipment. Even the farmers in Latin America, Africa, and Asia are feeling the ripple effect. When U.S. buyers pull back because of tariffs, it threatens the income of entire farming communities that rely on American contracts. Larger U.S. corporations with established global networks can ride out the storm by hedging prices or shifting to tariff-free suppliers. But for small businesses, it's survival of the fittest. There's also concern that America's rich, diverse coffee culture, built on variety, global connection, and craft, is at risk of becoming more uniform and corporate. Economists say if tariffs continue or increase, we could see coffee become more of a luxury item in America. That means fewer daily cafe runs for the average worker and more challenges for small businesses that rely on regular foot traffic and affordable sourcing. There's also a political angle. Some trade experts argue that the tariffs are meant to protect American manufacturing, but others believe they're hurting more consumers and small business owners than they're helping.
Okay, coffee lovers, you better buy more coffee. Stock up now, because this miserable man is putting more tariffs on Brazil, which produces coffee. And the reason why? Because Brazil is treating Bolsonaro as a criminal and a dictator, which he is, but Trump doesn't like that. No. It's none of our fucking business. So that's why your cup of coffee is going to be more expensive, because Trump doesn't care about how much people pay here in America. He just cares about his own agenda.
You better go get your coffee now, because Donald Trump has put a 50% tariffs on Brazil. Why does that matter? Because Brazil is the one who brings in coffee beans to the States. Okay, so my order at Starbucks is always a venti shaken vanilla espresso. Now, I pay about $6.50. Yeah, that's about to go up to $33.50 because the coffee beans, now why we beefing with Brazil? Trump, why? I ain't never heard nothing about Brazil really bothering the States. Like, Trump is just really out here beefing with everybody, like causing all this trouble with everybody. Like, can we just be peaceful and not beef with nobody? Trump, please, because I like coffee. I can't go throughout the day without a cup of coffee. I can't do it. And so now, what I'm gonna do now? What I'm gonna do? Them people at Starbucks know me by name. And now they're gonna forget my name because I can't go there, because I can't afford no 33 cup. I barely can afford the $6.50 that I give these people every day. But really, y'all voted for the man.
We're learning more about the impacts of these tariffs specifically on the coffee sector. If you didn't know, Brazil imports more green coffee beans than any other country in the world to the United States, or rather exports, sorry. In addition, Brazil's coffee beans account for about a third of the coffee supply coming into the United States. That's according to Reuters. Because of that, 50% tariffs will make it very difficult for Brazilian exports to come in. It will make it impossible at the current price, but it'll make it very difficult just generally, placing a strain on the coffee supply coming into the United States, which means that starting on August 1st, coffee prices across the country will go up. And it'll impact not just the Brazilian coffee that's coming in, but also coffee from other countries across South America.
The tariff must have really hit the coffee industry, because I'm telling you right now, the prices that I'm seeing right here in my grocery store is absolutely insane. Check this out. So you mean to tell me that now Starbucks is $15.29? I could swear I only paid like $10 or $11 or even less. But it's not only that, it's all these other coffees that were originally before $8.99. This one is $7.99. The Dunkin' Donuts, that's the sale. Ugh, do not like Dunkin'. But everything else, $17, $14. The price has definitely gone up for all the coffees. Now there's a buy one get one free on this coffee. Oh, but let me look at the coffee pods to see how much that has gone up. Yep, they're like at $12. Just a 12-pack of coffee pods at $12.69. This is absolutely insane. The tariffs affect us, I guess, guys. And you know what? I need my coffee. I'm gonna spend $15.29. Oh boy.
Your coffee, it's gonna become 50% more expensive than what you're paying right now. And the reason behind it is because the president signed today into law 50% tariff against Brazil. And guess where the coffee's coming from? 35% of the coffee is being imported from Brazil. That is what we are importing. The beef, there is a 50% tariff against the beef. That means all those frozen burgers that we are bringing in and the frozen lamb and all that, it's going to have 50% tariff. The steel is at 50%, but then who cares about the steel? I mean, it's not like we use it every day. But the good news is the orange juice, it is exempt from the tariff. Don't ask me why. We don't know. The United States does import a lot of orange juice from Brazil, but I don't know why. That was, I guess, because everybody drinks it in the morning and it's more like, you know, it's supposed to be like your bread, your butter kind of type of food. So that's where we are dealing with today. So, and that is going to take effect on August 1st. So all this cargo that it's already on the water is going to get hit by 50% as soon as it arrives into the United States. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't deviate from paying the duties and the tariff. The only way to go around it is to reroute your shipments to Mexico or to Canada until you find a solution, or to put it in a specific type of warehouse until you figure out what to do. Most of our customers today were really worried about what they're going to do with the product that is coming in here. Their customers are not, they're not wanting to pay the 50% tariff. They're basically saying it's their problem as exporters and from Brazil, I mean. So now this is the whole entire issue. I have one customer, he has about 4 containers on the water, and guess what? His customer just canceled the entire order. So that's the news of the day. I guess it's another day in logistics. So, yep, that's what we're going to talk about it for the entire week. Hopefully we can help these people out and see what we can do with it. So,
The rising price of coffee in America is more than just an inconvenience. It's a clear reflection of how global policies, trade wars, and economic decisions ripple down to everyday life. What used to be a simple, affordable comfort is now becoming a luxury for many. As tariffs continue to strain importers, small business owners, and consumers alike, the future of coffee culture in the U.S. hangs in the balance. Whether you're a daily coffee drinker, a small cafe owner, or someone who just loves supporting local businesses, this issue affects you. It's a reminder that behind every price tag is a policy, and behind every cup of coffee, there's a global story. Stay informed, stay curious, and keep watching Orbit Point, where we break down global headlines into stories that hit close to home. Don't forget to like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe for more eye-opening content.